Hi, this is Nicole.
Hi, Nicole. This is Valerie.
Today I'm um what is it?
That's okay. You can start over and do it again.
Okay.
We'll just edit it.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Nicole Guest.
Hi, I'm Nicole Guess. Today I'm interviewing with Miss Valerie Tripp, founder of American Girl Doll. Hi.
Hi, Nicole. It's nice to meet you today.
So I have some questions and let's get started. How
Okay.
did you get the courage to start a company?
Well, I was working with my friend who had a very nice name. Her name is Pleasant Roland. Isn't that a nice name? Pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
And we were writing stories for children to help them learn how to read. And when we were writing those stories, we talked about the stories and the toys that we loved when we were growing up. And Pleasant has two sisters, and I have three sisters. So we talked a lot about how much fun it was to grow up in a house full of girls and toys. And so then we thought, we should write stories about girls who lived in different times of history and then have dolls that go along with those stories and then have clothes for the dolls and furniture for the dolls. So it really all came out of this desire to make childhood fun for girls as they were growing up and to sort of along the way let them know what it would have been like for them if they had lived in a different period of history. So it came from that desire.
Wonderful. Next question. How did you begin your company? Well, okay,
Well,
my bad.
first, I remember one wonderful day, we went to a toy store, Nicole, and we bought all the dolls in the store. I think we must have bought at least 15 dolls. And then we took those dolls around to elementary schools and we asked the girls in the elementary schools, which doll do you like the best? And they all liked the ones that looked like that we turned into the American Girl dolls, 18 inches tall. They really liked those dolls. And they said, please be sure that the dolls have hair that you can play with and be sure that their eyes open and shut and be sure they have a soft body. And so we started by asking girls what they liked and going around to schools and talking to them about the kind of things they like to play with and talking to their moms. And we took all of those good ideas. So that's really how it started at the beginning. And then actually, too, it only started with three characters. It only started with Molly, who lived at the time of World War II, and Samantha, who lived at the turn of the last century, and Kirsten, whose story is a story about immigration. So we just started with those three. And to tell you the truth, Nicole, I never, ever, ever guessed that it would grow so big, that the company would grow so big. I really didn't. It was a surprise, a nice surprise.
Mm-hmm. I really like Molly the best. She really is. I like her because I also wear glasses too, so it's not that bad.
Yes, I wear glasses too, and I always liked writing about the stories about Molly because she's very funny. She makes mistakes. We all make mistakes, and she makes mistakes. She's very funny, so I always enjoy writing about Molly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next question. How did you get so good at selling your products?
Well, I think it's less a matter of being good at selling things than it is a matter of just really respecting the girls we were making them for. And we always made everything of very good quality, and we wrote the stories with a lot of respect for our readers in mind. And I especially loved, I used to, well, I still do, when schools were open, I would visit schools and talk to brownies and Girl Scouts and go to church groups and libraries and book groups and talk to the girls and learn what kinds of stories they like. So I think it was it wasn't so much that we were good at selling things. We were just good at making things, being sure we were making things that girls were really going to connect to, and that the girls knew these are good, these aren't something that are going to break or anything like that. We just really respected the girls we made the toys and the books for.
I really understand because I was actually a Girl Scout too, so I really understand that.
And were you a brownie also?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too, and my little girl was a brownie and a Girl Scout. I learned a lot from Girl Scouts. That's where I learned to sew. And that's where I learned to identify like leaves on trees and birds. I learned a lot. I'm grateful to Girl Scouts. I learned a lot from them.
Me too. Anyway, next question. Why did you name name your dolls the names that they have?
Oh, that's such a good question. That's such a good question. Well, you know how they live in different periods of history? Sometimes, like Felicity lived more than 250 years ago, and then Mary Ellen, the character I just finished writing about, lived in 1950. So I chose names. Here's what I would do. I would do research and find out what was a very popular name for girls to have during the time that that character lived. And so we would, like, for example, for Felicity, also, I wanted her name to let you know what she's like. Felicity means happiness, and her last name is Merriman. So, oh, she's a happy girl. She's a happy girl. And Josefina, who lived in New Mexico, I wanted her name to be a name that sounded Spanish, Josefina. And with Mary Ellen, I wanted a name that a lot of girls had in the 1950s. So the names come from partly to let you know when the character lived, partly to let you know, for example, in Josefina's case, where she lived, and also partly to let you know what kind of girl she was. Is she a happy girl? Is she a serious girl? Is she a funny girl? The name is supposed to help you know about that. Oh, do you know Kit? Do you know the character Kit with the blonde hair? She lives at the time of the Great Depression. And I named her Kit because she had to be ready for everything. A lot of things happened to Kit. And you know how you have like a sewing kit or a first aid kit or a mess kit? So a kit is something that you have with you to be ready for no matter what happens. So I thought that was a good name for that character because of what is going on in her life. That's a really good question. Thank you for asking that. And by the way, I love the name Nicole. That's a beautiful name.
Thank you. Next question. How do you create demand for dolls in 2020?
How do we come up with the characters who live now? Yeah, that's a challenge, isn't it? Because you have to know what girls are doing now. So one of the things I do, Nicole, is, or I did until school closed down because of the virus, I had a group of girls I called my lunch bunch, and I would go and have lunch with these girls, and I would ask them, what's going on in school for you, and what's something that you worried about a little bit, what's turned out to be very fun, what expression do you use when you're very happy about something, what music are you listening to, what clothes do you like to wear. So I would try to find out from girls living in 2020 the things that they were enjoying right now, so that when I wrote about a character, or if someone wrote about a character living right now, the girls who were reading it would say, oh yeah, I like that music too, or I like that movie too, or I like that, those clothes too. So I think you would probably just call that research, but it didn't feel like hard work at all because it was so much fun to have lunch with these girls. We would always have a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Next question. How do you create demand? Oh, wait, that's already. That was the one we just
We
answered.
just talked about that.
Dad, number 6. What part of the country do your products sell best?
That's a very good question. As you know, there are a lot of stores. There are American Girl stores in a lot of different parts of the country. And so some of the stores are in very big cities. So a lot of things get sold where there are lots of people living in a big city. So a place like New York or Los Angeles, a lot of things are sold there. But here's an interesting thing. What state do you live in?
I live in Belcamp/Baltimore, but mostly Maryland.
In Maryland. Yeah, me too. Me too. So I get letters from girls who read the stories and play with the dolls and everything. And I got a lot of letters from girls in Maryland, and they always give me good ideas. They ask me questions just like you are, and they give me very good ideas. And then I get a lot of letters from girls who live in Florida and Texas. Lots of letters from Florida and Texas and Ohio.
I can understand because my friend moved from my school to Texas, so
Oh, did she? Oh, you must miss her.
I miss her a lot. We had a sleepover once.
Oh, that's so nice. Well, maybe you can Zoom with her. You could see her, talk to her on Zoom.
Yeah, but we can't really find her number, so we can't do it.
Yeah, that's hard. That's really hard. I know I have a friend I miss very, very much. It's very hard not to see our friends now, isn't it? It's very hard. When they move, it's very hard.
Especially with this virus going around. Like
I
anything can happen and we wouldn't even know it.
I know. You're so right. You're so right. It's really, all of us have to sort of sacrifice, don't we? My daughter and her husband live all the way in Colorado, and they just moved into a new house this week. And I would love to go visit their house, but we can't go. We can't.
Because of COVID, all the planes are closed down and stuff, so we can't.
We can't. So she and I talk on the phone, and sometimes she'll carry her laptop around so I can see her new house. But I miss her. Yeah, it's hard to be far away from people we love, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Nicole, I think you have a very big heart. I think you're a very loving girl. I think you're someone who, really cares about people. I can tell by your questions. Very thoughtful.
Mhm. So next one, do you like cake or cookies?
Oh, that's a very hard question. I thought a long time about this question when I read the questions before. And I think I think when I was younger, when I was a kid growing up, I would have said cake because I like birthday cake. But I think now that I'm grown up, I think I would have to say cookies.
True. Same here.
What kind of cookie do you like the best?
I like a lot of cookies. That's just a really hard question. I like so many cookies.
Well, if I told you how many hundreds of batches of chocolate chip cookies I have made trying to figure out the very best way to make a chocolate chip cookie. Just, more chips or more butter or more flour, just hundreds and hundreds, because my husband and I both love chocolate chip cookies. I like it when they're warm and the chips are kind of melty. So I think the answer to your question is definitely cookies, but then I would have a hard time saying what's my favorite cookie.
Me too.
But it's very fun to try to find out, isn't it? Because then you get to try a lot of cookies.
So the next question is, do you like animals? If so, what is your favorite?
I do like animals very, very much. And I think dogs are my favorite. Now, my dog right now is visiting my daughter, but I do like dogs. And I can tell that you like dogs too, because you have your
I
name.
like dogs, cats, and bunnies.
Oh, I love bunnies. I love bunnies. Every once in a while, if I'm very quiet, when I'm outside, I can see a bunny in our yard. Every once in a while, they're very shy. They're awful cute, aren't they?
I literally saw two bunnies a few days ago. It was like a bunny battle.
So cute. Were they kind of brown with a white tail, or? Yeah, ours are sort of brown. And they're very shy and they're very fast. So I have to be very quiet and sit very still. And you can watch them eating the grass. And then as soon as they see me, they hop away. But they're very, very cute. But I think my favorite Definitely my favorite kind of animal is a dog
Me
because they're so
too.
friendly and they love you, they just love you. All they want is, your attention and affection, and they're so funny.
And they love to help you out in the nicest ways too.
They do. They do. I think dogs' brains must be very, very interesting because they do help us out. you
Yeah.
know my dog used to be able to tell when I was worried about something. I'm just sure he could tell when I was worried about things, and then he would kind of hang around to be sure I was okay. i
Mhm.
I think dogs are, I think they pick up on our emotions, don't you? I
Yeah,
think
it's like a dog's intelligence has that kind of power that can tell what humans are thinking and saying.
I think so. I think so. They foresee things. And then of course it's very funny when a dog has done something wrong. They
True.
have that look on their face like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't, I didn't mean to do that, but I just had to get on the couch. I know I'm not supposed to.
They're like, I'm sorry. I really am sorry, but I really just want to get on the couch.
One Thanksgiving, we had turkey, and then we're cleaning up the kitchen, and we had some leftover turkey on a plate and everything. We went for a walk, and we came back. Guess who had eaten all of the turkey off the plate?
The doggy.
And he looked so sorry, but he just couldn't resist. It was just too delicious.
Yeah, that's the one thing dogs can't resist. A bone or a whole bunch of meat.
A whole bunch of meat. I know. You know what I've always thought would be fun? I've never done. I've always thought it would be fun to have two dogs at the same time. I always thought that would be pretty cute. Our house isn't really big enough to handle two dogs, but I've always thought that would be sort of fun because then they would play with each other and it'd be fun to watch, and they would keep each other company. I've
Mhm.
always thought that would be fun. If you could have any kind of dog, is there one kind of dog that you like the best?
I actually really love all the dogs the way they are.
Me too. I do too, really. They are, and they're different. They have different personalities and everything. But yeah, I agree with you. I would have a hard time saying which that was just one kind that I like the best.
True. I always really wanted a pet again because my pet fish died when I was like, I don't really remember, but it was like
Mhm.
I missed Goldie.
Yeah, we used to have fish too. And my daughter was a little girl. We had fish, and it was really fun to watch them. And we would make up stories about them, and feed them and clean the tank and everything. Yeah, they were so beautiful too. They were very beautiful to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah. You and I both like animals, I think.
Mhm.
Maybe when you grow up, you could work with animals. Would you like to do that?
Yeah. I always wanted to be a veterinarian
Yeah.
and a teacher.
Well, that's a good combination, actually. That's a good combination. And of course, I think veterinarians also have to teach the people who take care of dogs. Sometimes they have to teach people how to train the dog. And of course, they have to teach the dog too. That's a good combination, a teacher and a veterinarian.
That's really true.
Gosh, that'd be so much fun, Nicole. Then you would see animals every day. People would bring you their kittens and their birds and their fish and their bunnies and their dogs. That'd be fun. That would be very fun. That would be very fun.
Okay, number 9. Do you believe in rainbows?
I certainly do. I certainly do. When I was doing the research to write the stories about Josefina, she lives in New Mexico. So my husband and my daughter and I went to New Mexico many, many, many times, especially during the summer. And in New Mexico, they have the most wonderful rainbows. Sometimes they'll have a double rainbow. So there'll be one arch, and then underneath that, another arch. Yes, I love rainbows. I love rainbows. And they're kind of magic, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
They're kind of magic because they just appear, and you're lucky if you see one, and then they go away, and they have the colors in them, all the colors in them. And yeah, they're unpredictable, and they're a little bit, you can't touch them or anything.
Yeah.
They're kind of magical. They're kind of magical. And there they are. They just appear. That's very, yeah, that's true. We have good rainbows in Maryland. We have pretty good rainbows here too.
Mhm. One
Yeah.
time I saw a rainbow when we were coming home. It was really beautiful.
Uh,
There was also one when we got home. was so pretty.
Was it the whole arc? Sometimes I see just parts of them, but it's nice when you see the whole big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. And then I think, isn't there a way that you can remember the names of the colors? It's like Roy G. Biv, and that stands for, oh, I'm not sure what the R stands for, but it's a way to orange, yellow, blue, indigo, violet, red, I guess. Yeah, it tells you the first letter of the colors in the rainbow. Yeah. Do you like to draw? Do you like to draw rainbows?
I actually have a lot of drawings, really.
Oh, you do?
Uh-huh.
That's great. That's great. And
Show you some of them. If
I'd
you
love to see them. I would love to see them.
they're at least from my book.
Oh, from your book. Oh, nice. When my daughter was your age, she used to like to draw rainbows a lot. She would draw rainbows. I think because I used all the colors. Yeah, she liked to do that.
So this is what I tried like when I was like 3 years old.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. That's a wonderful girl. Does she
Yeah.
have something over her head?
That's like her mini headband.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And I like her outfit. It's very cute.
Hold on, one sec. And this is what I draw like now.
Oh, wow. Way more sophisticated. Well, the other one has a rainbow skirt, doesn't she?
Uh-huh.
You have a rainbow skirt. Can I see them again?
And there's this one. I did it just to
Oh, that's beautiful.
Mhm.
Wow. Ooh, that's just wonderful. I love the night scene.
Me too.
So I'm not good at drawing. So Nicole, do you get I've always been curious about this because you are an artist. Do you get the idea in your head first? And then, yeah, you get the idea and then you do the picture. That's wonderful.
Depends on what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Like, I was feeling really happy to stay, so I decided to draw a nice happy.
I love it. The colors are happy. Everything's happy. That's great.
That's the school angel.
Yes, a school angel. That's
Mhm.
great. That's great. And so now I hope you're taking good care of all your pictures. You're going to save them, right?
And
Good, good.
this one is the opposite, like opposites attract.
Yes. Oh, look at the colors you've used there. I love that combination of colors. That's
And this one's in between.
in between. Yes. I love her skirt. I wish I had a skirt like that.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, those are really good. So do you keep them in an album or do you take pictures of them? So you preserve them. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Because isn't it fun to look back at the one that you did when you were little and you think, oh, that was good. That was good for when I was so little. Yeah. I like to keep I keep the drawings and notes and things that my daughter wrote to me when she was little. It's really fun to go back and look at those.
Okay.
Well, congratulations. Promise me you'll keep on drawing. Don't stop drawing because you really have a gift there.
Okay.
It's a great thing to
Last question. Would you like to share anything else before we continue?
Well, I think what I would like to say is a big thank you to you and your mom because if I had to say the hardest part of the pandemic and the virus, it's that I think we all get a little lonely, that because we can't go see our friends and we can't I like to go to plays and movies and concerts. You can't do that, or restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel as though you and I got to be friends today, and I'm really grateful to you because it was very generous of you to, call and spend this time together. So I think the most important thing I want to say to you is thank you very much. And I hope we can talk again sometime because I really enjoyed our conversation. Thank you.
Problem.
Thank you.
No problem. Well, I hope you have a nice day.
You too. Bye-bye. Thank you again. Bye.
No problem.
I'm sending you a kiss.
Thank Say bye, Daddy.
There's Angie. Bye, Angie. What a cute little face she has. Bye, Angie. I see two angels on the screen right now. You and Angie, Nicole. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wow. Did I stop it? Wait a minute. Did I stop?
It's
No, you
Wait.
recording.
Hold on.
no, we're still here.
Now it's done.
Oh, now I lost you.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
And
Okay.
you're gonna record it again.
I'm back. I don't know.
Mommy, you're doing it the wrong
My
way.
ear. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, you can see. Where am I?
Yeah, I see me, but I don't see you.
That too.
Wait a minute.
Go back.
Don't hide. Don't hide, Sophie. Oh, oh my goodness. This is why I have people help me do this stuff because.
It's
Hold on.
hard.
You're not going.
Wait a minute. Where am I? This is so crazy. Where am I? Okay. Am I back?
I don't see you. Did you turn off your camera?
No.
No. I can hear you very well.
Yeah. Let me see. Okay. Come back. Share screen? Is that it? Nope.
Nope,
not
that
it.
just made it worse.
Well, so oh my goodness. Show, here it is. Show self view.
Yes.
Okay.
Then you tap that.
What? Here?
Yeah, that.
Start the video?
So that way she can
Oh.
see us. Boom!
Thank you, Nicole.
They were funny.
I knew it.
She helped me.
I figured it out when we started.
Nicole helps me a lot. She tells me.
Yeah, we're lucky Nicole's here today.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Okay, well, if you want, do you want to just go and pick up the next one while we're here?
Sure.
Did you get those questions?
Ow.
Oh, I'm
No,
sorry.
I didn't. I just got the list of Nicole's questions.
You want to take a look? Well, we don't have to. We can do it another day. It's up to you.
Well, or I could just answer the questions
Okay.
off if let's give it a try. Let's see.
Yeah, that's not rocket science. It's rocket science.
I
Oh my gosh.
I also really love where I got this shirt.
Can you
from.
scooch over a little
Angie
bit, and
shirt.
then you could stay right here with me. You want to scoot over there?
Yeah.
Just a little bit. You're perfect.
I
Okay.
love where I got Angie's shirt.
Here, come in
from.
some. There you go. So cool. I really want to see at some point if we can. Are you good, Nicole? Get your head in there. I want to move your head. There it is.
I can. Yeah.
Okay. You know, maybe at some point we can. I could sit there with her, but can you see me? Is that good?
I can see you very well. Yes,
Okay.
I can see both of you.
You know, at some point, maybe we could, like, if you have a new doll or something that you want to promote, maybe you could send something. Just let me know how we can work together, because we've got this kid shopping network. It is to be the portal for where kids go, where, you know, like right now it's up, but people don't really know about it, you know? So, I mean, a lot of people here know, but it's basically going to be the Amazon for kids. That's our goal.
That's a very nice idea.
So this is great doing this with you, because, you know, people know this brand, and you know, maybe you could come back and do some contributing pieces, you know, every now and then or whatever. It's up to you, you know, whatever you want to do. And we have, and if you have an ad or something, I'll put it on the site for you. You know, I know people should pay us for this stuff, but I'm just really grateful that you did this with us today. So
I love doing it. And
yeah.
you know, you should really talk to American Girl. You know, I'm sort of freelancer, and I'm sure they would be glad to talk to you. So I'll connect you with, send you the email of the PR department.
Okay.
And then they'd be the people, you know, because they'd be delighted.
Wow.
I'm sure they'd be delighted because
Right.
yeah.
I think we've got something with that.
So too, I think it's a brilliant idea.
We've had iFly and oh my gosh, am I ever recording this?
Yeah.
I am?
I can. Well, its recording is.
Okay, I'm gonna edit all of that out. That is not what I want to know. Okay, so let's just do the interview. But we've had like a lot of we've had the circus, and we've had iFly, and we had
Mhm.
Autobahn, and what's the other?
Mostly I've been there.
Sweet Frog. I don't know. We had,
I
oh, Kids
love
Bop.
Sweet
Kids
Frog.
Bop was really, really,
Yeah,
really
I
fun.
love
Fun.
Yeah,
Kids Bop.
yeah.
That was one of my favorite
It
ones.
was really cool. It was
Right
really cool.
next to iFly and the circus.
The
I
circus.
cannot believe I still can wear those flip flops.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're gonna go into the second part now, okay?
And
And
that was when I was
so I'm
5.
gonna read it to you, and then let me just sit up here so you can see. I'm a little older than her. She can sit crisscross. Oh, yeah. And I scooch over this way for me. And
Yeah.
I'm sitting here, my knees are like, I can't.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first question is, how did you learn to design dolls? And are all of your dolls custom designed for each customer? So I'll just read it to you, and then we can,
See,
I got an editor who will make us all look wonderful after this, because I cannot. Okay. And all right.
Sorry. I'm a little
So,
sleepy.
hi, this is Janice McLean Deloach, and today I have the pleasure of being joined by my daughter Nicole. Hi, and we have one of the creators of American Girl Doll, Miss Valerie Tripp. Hi,
hi,
how
nice
are
to see
you?
you.
Thank you for joining me today. This is really a pleasure. It's such a treat for us.
It's a treat for
It's
us, too.
twofold. She loves the doll brand, and I get to talk to you. We connected years ago, and I'm glad that we are actually to get together again today. So this is cool. Now I wanted to ask you, how did you learn how to design the dolls? And are all of your dolls custom designed for each customer?
No, they are not custom designed. And
Okay.
um, the what we did was take an existing brand of doll, the GOTS brand,
Okay.
and we asked the GOTS factory to make the dolls look the way we wanted them to look, only in terms of hair color and skin color and
Mhm.
eye color. And what we did was choose for example, some of the dolls have long hair, some of them have short hair. So
Right.
to that extent, and of course the girls of today dolls are a wide variety of appearances, but
Right.
they're not custom made for the customer. The customer chooses from a huge array, an
Mhm.
enormous number of choices. So the
Okay.
customer really designs your own doll in a sense, now that you mention it, which is great.
Wow. Wow, okay, that's a good
Cool.
point. Now, how did you develop some of the ideas for historical dolls? Because it seems like they have a connection to history as well, like Nanea, who's a Hawaiian girl, and then Julie, who finds herself in the middle of a fight for gender equality. How did you guys come up with that concept?
Well, we really loved historical fiction. I always loved historical fiction when I was growing up. And to tell you the truth, I think I learned more about American history by reading historical fiction than I did by reading nonfiction books or even in school.
Okay.
Because I believe you connect on an emotional level. When you're reading historical fiction, you care about that character. She gets to be kind of your friend. And so you care about what's happening to her. And what's happening to her is, of course, influenced by the period of time that she lives in. So, what
Right.
I always tried to do in developing the character was to have the character's personality be sort of a girl sized version of the major social, political, economic problems of the period that she lived in.
Hmm.
Felicity's probably the easiest to explain. She's a character living in colonial America in the 18th century, and she
Okay.
wants more independence than a girl would have been allowed. And her story mirrors or echoes what's going on in the colony, which is, of course, the colonists want more independence than they would have been allowed. And her journey is the same as the colonists' journey, which is towards, self-regulation, not self-indulgence, and maturity. So her story is kind of a allegory, if you will, for what was going on in the United States at the time that, well, it wasn't the United States yet, but when she lived. So yes, the stories and the characters spring very much from the historical period that they live in.
Okay. Um, I feel that these dolls are important with teaching from a historical perspective, but they can also, I think a lot of the girls could probably identify with the dolls today,
Yes.
in some way.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm constantly impressed by the way the girls interact with the characters and the dolls. And
Mhm.
very often, actually, parents are surprised at which doll their daughter wants because a lot of times people assume their daughter's going to want a doll who looks like them.
Right.
This surprisingly is not always the case. Sometimes a girl like Nicole will say
She,
she like Molly
yes,
and
yes.
wore glasses and she did too. And sometimes it's something about the character's personality. I will tell
Mhm.
you that very smart girls always like Molly. So when Nicole said she liked Molly, I wasn't surprised because Nicole's
Yeah.
a
I
very
can
smart
tell.
girl.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's something about, sometimes they like the fashions the girls wore during the period that that character lived, or sometimes
Okay.
something about that character's struggle that they identify with. And
Mhm.
it's very, very impressive the way the girls
Yeah.
absolutely bridge across centuries to make connections to these characters.
Mhm.
Very impressive.
So here's my last one. Now, do you create your dolls? Do you do them by hand, or do you use software to come up with that?
Um, I don't know the answer to that question. I'm not really involved with the manufacturing of the
Okay.
dolls all that much. I have an input into what the doll's going to look like because, of course, that's influenced by where she's from and when she lived, and
Right.
that. And I think when they made the Kit doll, they deliberately made her look like me, just as a
Oh,
joke.
oh,
So, and because she wants to be a writer and
look at
everything.
that. Yeah.
So, it comes from all different places. And as for the process of how all those elements are combined to come up with the doll's appearance, I really don't know. You'd have to ask somebody in manufacturing about that.
Okay. Well, what's next for Valerie Tripp?
Well, right now, actually, I'm working on a STEM-based series, a fiction STEM-based series for National Geographic.
Oh,
Brand new series, and it's about girls starting middle school. They're in the 6th grade, and they're all interested in different areas of science. One likes biology, one likes engineering, one likes chemistry, one likes physics, and mysteries happen in their
she
school.
likes chemistry.
I like chemistry too.
Quite a
I used to love mixing up stuff in the
She still
bathroom.
mixes up my perfume and my lotions and I can't keep a bottle of shampoo or soap in the house ever.
This is what I love because Nicole's proving one of the things I want to show in these books, which is we're all doing science all the time. We're all doing science all the time. We're mixing things that we're, making cookies. We're, trying on different lotions and potions and stuff. So we're all doing science all the time. And these
I
girls
can
do
tell
this.
because in science in
Mm.
school, like it's really sometimes in school it's just like ugh, but other times it's like not bad. But my favorite part is the house assembly.
What
It
about
comes like every year when we all have our many colors and we go through our houses and then we just have fun and do things for the school community and stuff.
Oh,
what
that's
about the Mentos and soda
Oh,
challenge?
I love that one.
Is this an
We did that a
experiment?
week ago.
Soda all over her face. It's all in her nose.
So when
But she was absolutely thrilled with
so
that.
Daddy put the Cocoa Mento in it, and then he got splashed instead of me.
I'm gonna put that in one of my books. I'm gonna have to put that in one
Yeah.
of my books. But for example, a girl like Nicole loves animals, and she aspires to be a veterinarian, and that's a wonderful field of science. That's the girls who are interested in biology and animal studies and everything. I really want to encourage young girls to pursue any passion that they have that has to do with science. So I'm having a lot of fun writing these books for National Geographic, and the first one will be out in September.
Oh, okay.
Here's an advanced. This is an advanced copy. This is what it looks like.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
God.
Oh.
And so, of course, just like Nicole's Mento, sometimes things don't go right, or they just go in a surprising way. Yeah. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Well, I thank you so much for just spending time with us today. You are an absolute gem and just such a kind lady. I just always remember your kindness, and we thank you.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for spending time with me.
Yeah. And this is not gonna, we're gonna have you back on, and you'll tell us how the books are going with the new series that you're working on, as well as the old products that you were working on with American Girl. So definitely we will do this again.
That's very kind of you. Thank you very much.
All right, our pleasure, and
Bye-bye.
thank you. Okay.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
That was really fun.
Okay. That's it.
Okay. That was really fun.
Mhm.
Whee! Angie just did a backflip.
Nicole.